I am the wolf. Well, I'm not really a wolf. People just call me that. No one ever tells my side of the story. I'm not the bad guy. I was the one trying to protect people from that little girl. You humans twisted the tale of Little Red Riding Hood to be a sweet childhood fairy tale. First and foremost, what kind of parents let their child walk alone at night? Anyway, this is the real story. It was a cold October day when she was let loose. Some neighborhood children had the bright idea to summon a demon from the grave. They sat around in a circle and called up the little girl of red, formerly known as Little Red Riding Hood. She rose from the dead and stared at the children. She looked just like a normal little girl from behind. She was short and carried a basket with a blanket over it. Most people assumed that inside of that basket were apples. In reality, there were bloodied skulls of her victims. From the front, she was a terror. She had black holes for eyes. Her skin was peeling off in places like someone took a cheese grater to her face. Her smile was the most horrid sight. She had rows of sharp teeth. They were all stained with blood. When the children that summoned her looked at that terrible creature they had called up, they ran. Though they didn't go far, however. She got them. She gets everyone she sets out to get. Anyways, as the town protector, I am entitled to protect the community. I didn't have any experience with demons, and had no idea what to do, so I went to the old lady's house. She knows everything about ghosts and stuff. A lot of people thought she was a witch. And when I got there, I was greeted by the smell of a rotting corpse. I went inside of her house to find the poor old woman dead. She had a look of great shock and horror on her face. She had written something on a piece of paper. It looked like gibberish until I realized it was in Latin. The translation was, "The girl is gone." Now, I'm not quite sure what that means, but I haven't seen her here in a while. Maybe she really is gone. Do you ever see it? Yeah, in the mirror. Do you see it? That thing. Every time you stare at the mirror, it's staring right back at you. You? Well, of course it's you. Can't you see it with your own eyes? Do you not recognize yourself? You can't. Maybe you don't truly know yourself, Come on, take a better look. Yeah, that's it. You see it. The insanity. You could see it smiling at you, right? I can. It's even worse when there isn't proper lighting. It's just standing there. Just like me, but with a twisted grin and a maniacal look in its eyes. Most people can't see it, but it's there. Oh, it's there all right. Waiting for you to break at some point or another and let it out of its cage in your mind. It's always smiling. That ear-to-ear grin that could scare anyone, no matter how intimidating they are. Some people don't even acknowledge its presence. Others are aware of it. Others even let it loose on the world to wreak havoc and chaos. A human being at its most raw. A human being without its mask. It's frightening to think such a monster lives inside each and every one of us, isn't it? You know what's the worst part? You can almost never tell who lets it loose. It could be the guy behind the counter at your local supermarket. It could be that stranger you just apologized for bumping into. It could even be that nice old lady who lives in your building that takes her dog for a walk every morning. Frightening, isn't it? Really makes you think twice about saying hi to that guy or girl you were going to meet for dinner tonight, huh? Bah, you probably don't care. But remember, he's always smiling, always waiting in its prison. Just don't let it out. You'll regret it. There is an old tale told frequently in my hometown. I promise this is one you have not heard, unless you have spent at least a week in my area. I would give you the name of the town, but I wouldn't even bother, because it is difficult as hell to locate. I'm not kidding when I say this. The town, to me, isn't even a part of the United States. Now, I was born and raised in this town, so I am quite familiar with the story. It is called The Unforgettable Child. Don't ask me how the fuck the title of it came to be, because I have no clue myself. Ask the people who lived here in the late 1800s. Moving on. The tale kicks off in 1874 with a large family, and I really do mean large. One man and his wife had 24 children. In the autumn of 1874, the mother of 23 children gives life to a 24th. This child seemed to be one you could commonly find in such a time. That is, until her 3rd birthday. It was then the family began to notice changes in her. She would only willingly eat one small meal a day, began to suffer from extreme insomnia, and would show more aggression to others, just about everyone. These worsened as she grew. 3 years later, the mother awoke to find her husband and the other 23 children brutally murdered. The 24th she discovered downstairs in the sitting area, not even recognizable as a human, but something more evil than the devil himself. The child had obviously grown quickly and greater overnight. Her skin looked that of an old and ill person, her hair gone, eyes black as the moonless night, and no ears or nose in sight. It was strongly believed that the internal organs of the others were devoured by the human-turned-demon, as their bodies were found with nothing but skin and bone. Eventually, she must have somehow noticed her mother and stared back at her for a brief moment before quickly leaving through the window. The mother then discovered writing on the wall in blood. It read, "You cannot die, and even if you want, you can't yet." Numerous sightings of a similar being have been reported in the area. There have been several disappearances ranging from 1880 to 1914, and many people claim to have awoken to see the child standing in the farthest corner of the room from them. Most of these people have died anywhere from 1 week to 3 months after. I guess now I can understand why they call the story The Unforgettable Child, because her actions cannot be forgotten. Hey you, Ghostpaw here, and I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked tonight's stories, be sure to show your support by hitting that like button, leave me a comment, share with your friends, and be sure to subscribe so you can catch more of my spooky tales. And remember, Ghostpaw is always hunting, and I might just be hunting you.